Yes, sir, everybody. Welcome to the Facts Podcast. Today is the Saturday. Welcome to the Facts Podcast, everybody. Today is the Saturday rundown, but
Yes, sir.
we're gonna do a post. I guess all the games. So we're gonna do a review for all the games, but particularly we'll focus on the United game that just ended not too long ago. So we got Peter, we got Suntz, my boy Jide is also on the pod, and we got Mohammed and Mom G out here. So
Yes, sir.
let's get to it, man. I know it's a tough day. Most of us on here. I guess all of us on here.
Um,
Let's start off with you, Peter. How you feeling right now in general, man? Just
Day, man. Like I said, today was that weird like day where you get a day off on a weekend on a Saturday, and then going into it, like I was excited to watch the game, but after a couple of counters from Newcastle, and I seen how slow the game was. I
yeah.
like I started drifting. I started drifting. I'm like, man, I should have probably called in and picked up a shift, than watching. Been all for the team, so it's like I don't know if it's from a coaching point of view or if it's just the players not getting enough motivation to just play good. But I don't know what's our problem anymore, to be honest.
The motivation is a good point, and I'll get back to that. I'll put a pin on that because there's something I'll bring up in a little bit.
Mm.
Jide, you watched the game, and how you feeling about the not even the performance, but like where do you see the team? We were going into this game, everybody was saying the best form the last 5 games, which I don't listen to those kind of things. I mean, it's good for hype and bands and all that, but if you look at the teams we played, today showed that that form wasn't necessarily where we're at.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think we were papering over the cracks with those results, and I think what we sort of have come to expect is we must beat the small teams, and then we're also gonna lose to the big teams away from home. It's just gonna be like that, and we just have to accept that this team is just not good enough. But I think more so than us losing the game, I just think like there's just a rotten culture in the club, and I think it's being spearheaded by Mr. MBE, Marcus Rashford, because that was honestly one of the most pathetic displays of effort I've ever seen, like in my life. And it's the I wish I would be like, oh, I'm shocked, but he does it all the time. He does it all the time. This is who he is. He fake jogs, he fake tracks back, he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fight, and he left Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka on an island the
Mm.
whole game, and it was just honestly poor. So I think the where we're going from here, or how the club moves on from here, is we have to have an honest conversations with ourselves about Marcus Rashford, and just plain and simply ask, is he good enough to be a Man United player? Does he want to be a Man United player? And is he willing to sacrifice to be a Man United player? And if the answer is negative on all of those, I say we start to clear out with him and just get him out the club. And because he's not going to accept being a squad player, right? Because that will be my compromise. But if he doesn't want that, get him out the club and we start afresh. We need to get a new midfielder to come in to help out Kobe Mainu, because he's the future. So someone who's better than McTominay, but offers the same attributes as McTominay. So someone like Onana from Everton can come in, have him next to Maino, so we can have an athletic team. Have Bruno as the 8, sorry, as the 10, or in that rotation. And then, I don't want to sort of point fingers per se, because I think he did have a good game, but we're also going to need to have an athletic and really fast center back that's going to come in to help out with the team. Yeah, and I think for as much as Ten Hag didn't get it right in terms of the game this today, or maybe even the subs, you could criticize him for a lot of stuff, but we didn't even get a chance to see our tactics in play, because we were honestly second to every single challenge. No 50, the 50-50s were 70-30 to Newcastle. And so I can't even judge Ten Hag, because there was nothing to judge him on other than the fact that his team was not ready to play. So, it's tough for us, but I don't want to overreact because it's the hope that kills us. We're always like, oh, maybe. I thought we were gonna score goals today. How foolish was I?
Man,
How foolish was I? So I just say it's gonna happen. We're probably gonna get trounced by Liverpool. We're probably gonna, I actually think we're gonna get something positive out of the Bayern Munich game. We're still gonna get knocked out, but against Liverpool, I think we're gonna get trounced if the same team plays, again. So the last thing I'll say on this is Ten Hag needs to find out who his soldiers are and trust them for the rest of the season. None of this favoritism. I don't care if you isolate people from the squad, send anyone to wherever they want to go, eat with the reserves. Find your soldiers and stick with them because work rate needs to be the basis of every single performance that United have. And these players are gonna get another manager sacked if he's not careful. So
absolutely.
that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, man, lots of talking points. You pointed out a lot of important things that I think we can talk on or touch on today. The motivation, of course, as we already said, is one of them. But you said something about athleticism, and that I feel like that's a big talking point that we kind of like it's kind of let slide on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the United squad, we don't really have a lot of tough athletic players.
Athletes, yeah.
Like we have players that are either too slow, too small, players who like probably aren't very, don't go into challenges like that. Other than Amrabat and maybe Luke Shaw, I might say.
Luke Shaw.
Maguire just does a lot of bundling. Yeah, he's big. He just bundles big people over and stuff. We don't have many like big, strong players, and you need like one or two. And it's funny because people used to say McTominay, that's the reason why he's in the squad because he's tall, he's this and that. He was bullied today. He was ran over today. There was just
he was scared.
Oh, that's a mismatch. Like McTominay and Joelinton, right?
Joelinton, oh man, I think someone said I was watching one live after the game. They said McTominay goes missing like rabbit shit in a bag of Maltesers, and that's probably the best analogy I've heard all day. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get to some of your talking points though. Lots of talking points. Ten Hag needs to find who his soldiers are. And needs to figure out the team, and that's also tricky for Ten Hag. And I also say why. But I'll go to Mohammed. Mohammed, what's your take, man? Your boy MBE. People are saying he got to hold the bench. He got to warm it up a little bit.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, well, like I'm gonna start with what Jide ended off with. I don't wanna overreact. So my overall performances, I gotta take a minute to look at how we perform. I gotta take a day really to say my real objective. But just right now, obviously, I was not impressed with you're not impressed with Rashford's performance. Even Wan-Bissaka, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at that goal and there's a lot of times where like people go in behind him, he doesn't track his runners. He's not aware of like the opposite winger. I remember one of the goals in the Champions League, that's how they scored it. That's how they scored again. That's how they knocked us out. So it seems like, yes, he's made some improvement. It's like, bro, but we get punished in crucial moments for the same mistake that you've been making. And I haven't seen improvement in that. So right now, I'm not really, I'm looking at the players for this game. I'm looking at the players and I'm like, yeah, I've seen some performance in the Champions League. I've seen some performance against Everton, but how are y'all helping yourself to get yourself in position to score? Bruno, again, I'll look at him, but I felt like he still had some moments there, but not enough. And that's what we're missing with Pereira. We're missing that. Our team for some reason we have some quality, but we're not really clicking. Not everybody. There's certain spaces you can see today, even like with Kobe Mainu. He was playing, but it's still too much for him. It's still too much to expect him to be that one that constantly create. Where are the other creators, right? Bruno, I'll look at you. I can look at Rashford again, and then let me actually stick to those two because those are our senior players. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're not providing us much. Martial, you had a little bit of moments over here, but you're not really affecting the game. Hoyland, I want to lay off him a little bit because he's new and everything. But even at that, when you guys come on, how are you guys adding to the game? And I don't see anything from that. Like, how many chances did we create against Newcastle, really, honestly?
I mean,
One.
Like goal scoring chances, clear
yeah.
cut.
Well, create or happen, because we created one, but we had a couple happen because of like 50-50s. The ball bounced in the box and it fell to our players. But in terms of a systematic play, it was the Garnacho chance.
Yeah, we didn't really have a yes. And Peter, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's that chance where he got fed by, was it Bruno? And then he ran, but then he had to kick it with his weaker left foot.
Yeah.
Yo, I think we should be honest and come to the conclusion that we don't even have no attacking strategy anymore. Like I feel like we're scoring or we're attacking based on like just improvising, and if whatever happens, we just flip a coin. We cross the ball in the box. Somebody does a bicycle, it goes in. Hey, yeah, like we win. But we don't have no identity no more. Where's that quick break counter attack that we used to play on the? And I don't want to like dwell in the old like system on the Fergie, but that used to be our identity. Like the other team might possess the ball or have the ball for how long? When they lose it, it's goal time. We send the wingers. We don't got that. It's not happening no more.
Yeah.
But do you think that's because of the manager or the players?
Don't get me started on 10. I have a private beef with that. And my thing with him is like as you would say, there's no leadership. They like every category that you see on the like in the field, from the starting 11, from the defense to the midfielders to the forwards, there's nobody with that fire so they could feed off of that person's energy. But every other team that you see in the Premier League, there's just that one player or these couple of players, they're like this nucleus that people feed off of their energy, and it's goal time. They're not winning. They're winning all the tackles in the middle.
We saw that today. We saw that today with Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Was firing up the crowd. Every time they went to the crowd, they would be like, they fire up the crowd. And this is the time, at this point, they weren't even leading. This is before they even scored a goal. Mm-hmm. So, they have all these players. They have Joe Linton, who's like very passionate. He's going to put in 110. But Joe Linton will run to the point where he can't even walk no more. Like he starts to stagger. That's how much effort he puts in. Whereas Rashford is doing a skip to Malou. I don't know what he's doing. He's just like skipping around, bouncing around. And I hate to pick on one player, but we have to be honest. I feel like at some point, and I also don't want to overreact, but I think I've seen enough to tell me like, what's realistic, what's out there, what have we done? We only beat bottom half teams.
Thanks.
That's what we beat. I mean, as much as we're saying we don't want to overreact, I think we should overreact. I mean, at this point, at the Premier League, I mean, at this level, you cannot afford to have one slacker in your team. Talk less of two. Today we had almost three non-existent players in the first half. Rashford was not non-existent. Martial, as a striker, even if you're not, getting the ball, sometimes you have to let the ball stick. Allow your team to come forward. Martial doesn't offer that. He doesn't get contact with the center backs. If a ball comes up, he'll just kind of like lean in and that's it. Whereas Højlund on the other side, not that he had a great game, but every time he comes in, he gives you that. He will bump into the defenders, make it uncomfortable for them to control the ball. And then the last but not the least, of course, McTominay. You're a midfielder. You are all three midfielders of Newcastle today were active. Joe Linton, Miley, Bruno Guimaraes. All three of them were on the ball every single time. They were active. You knew to see what they were trying to do, but McTominay was missing. He was missing.
Is that a fair comparison? If you play a team like that like the core is so united, you're gonna get exposed. You might even be given 100, but because the way the other team are playing, it might look like you're slacking, but you're actually like giving what you you got.
So the thing about McTominay is it's not even like the defensive part, which is not even great, but like on the ball, like as a midfielder, I need you to run towards certain spaces and create certain spaces and ask for the ball. Like like if I trust you, like if I know you.
That was Fred used to do that, right? Fine. Me, I told it to Mohammed like from the jump. I'm not even expecting Fred to be 20 out of 20 pass completion, right? Never ever put that expectation on Fred. My thing with Fred, he was the engine. He would run. He would up to the person who's having possession the ball and ask for the ball and move it, right? They lose the ball. I guarantee if Fred played today, I'm not saying he would have won that battle against with Guimaraes and Joe Linton, but he would have brought a fight.
Yeah.
He would have brought a fight. But it's like everybody we have right now, they're passive. And if you wanna put Van de Beek in, why we don't use him? Like when we was buying him, this guy was one of the top midfielders in the world, and now we just like he's. If I was him, I'll leave the club. I would have been left the club a long time ago.
Who's that?
Van de Beek.
Oh, Van de Beek. Yeah, Donny has to
Yeah, but Van de Beek, I think that chapter is over because he just can't get into the squad. I don't even think he's athletic enough, when you actually see him play, that he'll fit a City way better than he'll fit a United team. Just because they have the ball so much that he doesn't, and they cover such small spaces that he doesn't need to be running end to end. Like our team is built for transition, and I think it's unfortunate. But it's not to cut you off. I wanted to talk about the Martial Højlund thing. I think Martial is sure, he's not gonna be the guy who's gonna back up into a center back and wrestle with him. But if he play the ball into his feet, although he didn't have his best performance with the three times the ball got to him, he probably missed one or two. But he knows how to win fouls. He knows how to win fouls a lot. And something that didn't really get brought up, because I don't think it deserves to be got brought up, in terms of we didn't do enough to even let this be a factor or deserve for this to be a factor. But the ref was not giving Newcastle yellow cards for cynical fouls. And that allowed them to keep doing it over and over again, which killed the small momentum that we had. And I think a yellow card here or there changes the dynamic of that game a little bit, but not enough. We didn't give enough of ourselves to deserve that sort of benefit of the doubt, to be honest. But I also wanted to mention, the thing you mentioned, like where you said the other team was playing so well, so it could mean that McTominay was given 100%, but it doesn't look like it. I don't think he gave 100%. I think he's the speed of it's okay. So this is what I'll say about our players. It's either they are unwilling to run, or they have learning deficiencies. It's one of the two.
Oh, 100%. I agree with the latter. I think this is the maximum you can actually do from an IQ standpoint.
If this is what you're doing and you lack an understanding, to get into spaces, to sniff the danger. Like, how many times do we see Kobe Mino already alert to the fact that an off-the-ball runner is going to go and match him instantly? Sometimes he got beat, but he was there or thereabouts. McTominay is always late. Yep. He's always late. He's like, oh, am I meant to be there? Yep. Oh, and then you see him, and he's always the last player in the frame to arrive where he's supposed to be. And I just think I just don't think they have the sense to do it, and we just need better players.
I mean, I'll bring this point up. No, go ahead. I was going to say this point. You talk about motivation, right? This is, and I know this may not be important for some people. They'll say United is a big club, yada, yada, yada. I'm just looking at footballers as equal. The highest earner in Newcastle earns 120K per week, 120,000 per week. And they're putting in, that's like Bruno Guimaraes and I think some other player, 120K. And they're putting in the most effort, pumping the crowd. We have players way overpaid, like 300,000, 250 plus, in the likes of Rashford, and the likes of Martial, and the likes of other players. It's like, at some point, is there anything for them to play for? They're earning the most money in world football. They're comfortable. That's just what it is for me. At some point, we have to talk about that.
But so based on my personal problem with Ten Hag, right? And listen, as a coach, like whether like that you have a successful season or not, he's been the only coach I've seen. Well, this is his second stint, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's been the only coach like this far from where you've begun or like day one of the job, right? He's been the only coach I've seen that he's made it this far, still experimenting. Like if you're gonna win or lose by this time of your job, you should have that faithful 11 that you always go to when you know what I'm saying. Like you have this identity. Like David Moyes had his team, like all the coaches that we previous coaches we had after Fergie, right? They've all had like a steady level, whether it was winning or losing, right? But with him, it feels like he's still experimenting. He still doesn't even know the players no more. And which I've made the conclusion that there was a reason why, like Pogba didn't work out. Ronaldo, like that was a separate issue and stuff like that. But I'm just thinking he thinks he's owed something. Yes, you've been successful in Ajax, right? That's where you came from.
Yeah.
You've been successful over there, right? But you in the Prem now. This is a whole different ball game. For some reason, like he robbed me the wrong way. Like he's owed the respect that Guardiola has. No, bro. No. Yes, you've won in Ajax and stuff like that. Fine. But this is a new day. And with sports, it's I don't care if it's like baseball, hockey, whatever it is. Sports, every day you gotta, or every game day you have a chance to update your resume. But for some reason, he felt that he's owed that respect, and which is why I feel like he cannot handle like big player names. Like all those players that he had issues. Like he's currently having issues with Sancho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo going, Pogba going, right? At a point,
Pogba was gone before he came.
He was gone before.
Yeah. But
Anthony, at a point, they was bumping heads. So it's like players under the limelight. They're like, I don't think he knows how to really handle them with their egos and stuff like that. He's good with upcoming players that like they're like you said, like soldiers, right? He can give you an order or command and then you will follow it. Mm. But for a player that's already has the status that they already had, I don't think he's that type of coach.
Right.
Like
that's I want to talk about Ten Hag real quick, right? But let me read some of the comments. So they're saying they have over 10,000 watching. United stand. And Lems is talking about blame the refs now. He's joking. He said, how about some tactics? And he said that's down to what tactics. So all these people are questioning. It seems like there's a lot of people questioning Ten Hag. Lems also said, like my mentor says, you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. Peter, they also talk about you. Then Lems also said, bro, wanted McTominay gone in the summer, but now he's an undisputed starter. Bought Højlund, Anthony, Amrabat to bench them. So there's this thing everybody's talking about Ten Hag, right? And he did make a change today. If you look at the lineup, right? Luke Shaw went into center back, left center back. He took out Lindelof. He brought who did he play left back this season? Oh, he played Dalot left back and Wan-Bissaka right back, right? Clearly, that is now that is how he wants to play. He said it. He wants a left footer on the left side of center back. Anytime Martinez is ready, Luke Shaw is ready, he automatically puts them there. So clearly he has a style of play, in my opinion. So I want to know from y'all, do y'all think that Ten Hag, there's a style of play that he's trying to implement to, one, defend better, hold play in the midfield, progress the team, and eventually score, in your opinion? Because I think, Jide, you just said also that United only systematically created one chance. So I want to kind of talk about that and see what y'all think.
Yeah. So what I would say about that is, if you look at our game against Everton, we created a ton of chances. If you look at Copenhagen, we created a ton of chances. Galatasaray, Luton, like, sure, the quality of team is not that high, but we can create chances through his methodology, right? The problem is that when you're playing such a high risk, pressing style, because so if we look at tactics, one of the biggest issues with our team is that we're doing it halfway. We're pressing really high with our forward line and midfielders, but because our defenders are a little bit slow, they're afraid to sort of engage, because we don't engage our wing backs in the press, because we don't want to leave our center backs 1v1, after people have sort of like broken the press. So there's issues that we can sort of still fix by personnel, but there's clearly a style of play. I think the issue comes in when you have one or two players who don't respect their teammates, and when one sort of a chink in the armor happens, it's just a chain reaction of everyone out of place because one person or two people didn't do their job. So I think that's one of the biggest things that is happening. But I also wanted to go back to the point of Ten Hag not managing egos well. That's a fair observation, and that's true. But my sort of pushback on that is, who in this team deserves, outside of maybe Ronaldo, who in this team deserves that high ego treatment? No one. They're simply not good enough. They're not good enough.
Other than Varane. I would say.
Yeah, Varane. Yeah, Varane's probably the only one. And I don't even think that's even a falling out. I think that's literally saying Maguire is playing in form. Last season, you played almost exclusively every single game. So it's not about the falling out. I just think it's, yo, Maguire's in form. You can't play on the left. I want to play with a left-sided center back. So other than Varane and Casemiro, no one in that team deserves, this cachet. And yet we just treat average players as if they're great, and we treat good players as if they're world class. And that's a toxic problem in our squad. We have players earning more than the managers. You say he fell out with Sancho. I saw reports that Sancho was not would never respond to Ten Hag's one-on-one request to come see him one-on-one. He would ignore it. He was late to training all the time. Like, we just have bad apples in the squad in terms of ego, and I just don't think they're at a quality level for that to be a criticism on Ten Hag, where it's like you're losing the dressing room. It's like, yeah, lose them, lose the people who don't want to give enough for the team, and get them out next window.
I feel like at some point you gotta be ruthless. At some point,
100%. Yeah.
Interpret it, but like I feel like at some point.
Let me just say in the comments, it's because players he has problems with are winners. They've played with good managers.
Oh, winners. Who's a winner? Who's a winner? Rashford's a winner. Sancho's a winner. What have they won?
The only player I think he has problems with that is a winner is really Ronaldo, because he doesn't have problems with Varane.
Yeah, and Ronaldo didn't make it easy for Ten Hag, because Ronaldo wanted to make sure that he was the boss and made it known to Ten Hag, and he drew a line in the sand. And then, like, why would you leave halfway through a mid-season game, like a preseason game? Like, who does that?
Yeah. I mean,
like,
Ronaldo didn't want to be there.
I mean, so the thing is, for me, I think Ten Hag is the only person that can sack himself at this point. And I'm saying this from a perspective of you have to be ruthless. I kind of agree with Jide partially, but the reason why I give him some grace is because even when he wanted to start his best 11, the injuries kind of were coming, and this beginning of the season, right? So he never really had a chance to start his real 11. If we're being honest, right? Ten Hag's best 11 on paper, judging from last season and this season, and let's say judging from last season plus the players we added, would be Onana, Shaw, Martinez, Varane, right back Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, and then Rashford in form, but then Rashford is not performing. So let's say Garnacho, Bruno, what's his name? Maybe Amrabat.
Maino.
Yeah, Maino. And on the
Casemiro.
Right, exactly. So on the right, you either have like Højlund in front, and then maybe even like Pellistri or someone, I don't know. But like we know he'll go with Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah. But like I'm talking about like the rest of the players. Like we missed a lot of players, so that's kind of why I give him grace. But the starting of Rashford over and over, and like not wanting to bench players because you're afraid you're going to lose them, I think that's what's creeping in right now with Ten Hag. I think he lost Sancho, so I think he's scared to like bench someone like
Rashford. He doesn't want to fight so many battles.
Exactly. And then in the Onana, if you bench Onana, the criticism, the media attention, you might fall out with Onana. You bench some, so I think all these things are some kind of playing, because it's very clear in the press conferences when I watch him, it does this thing of like trying to protect the image of the players, trying to protect the image of the team. We are unified.
He started at this season. I noticed
on the touchline.
Started at this season.
Yeah, but on the touchline, he's screaming. Today, he was screaming at the players. They were saying like, the F-bomb. Yeah. He's visibly frustrated because like the team is not good enough. Yeah. So he has to bench some players. I don't want to see Rashford play until he shows like,
respect.
Respect. Or like he comes in as a sub and scores goals or something like that.
No, I don't even need him to score goals. I need him to respect the game, respect the badge, and respect his teammates. Because look, if you guys were put on that pitch, you would give more than Rashford. Not in terms of quality, not in terms of chances, not in terms of anything. Just the fact that we're United fans, and the least we're gonna do is try to keep up with Livramento. We would have tried at least that. We'd have failed badly, but we'd have tried. We'd have given more. And I think Rashford, even when he's trying, he's doing the fake try.
Bro.
I want to show everyone that I'm doing it with no actual like feeling of trying to make that duel.
So there's one point, right? The right side of the field was literally empty, vacant. And I guess let me say right side of Man United's, attack.
Right.
They kept on attacking Rashford's side all game.
Over and
He
over
cannot
again.
press. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to press. Like when Anthony came in, there was a point where Anthony came in, they pressed together as a unit, and they won the ball back twice, or they caused some disruption. Rashford doesn't do all that. Rashford just, all he does is runs and stands in front of the man and says, I've covered the man. That's it.
Right. He doesn't engage.
Really engage the person.
Yeah.
Same thing.
He's a faker.
Sancho used to like
faker.
run at players and like fake stop and like act like he's. So all these things, you cannot be a Premier League, quality top 4 side or
carrying Rashford. Yeah.
Playing like that. There's just no way we're gonna win anything.
Are we putting too much expectations on him? Because I don't feel like this just started like recent. This has been his. It has
been.
I've been
and it's bad
for 3 years now, and people say it's extreme. I don't care if he scored 30 goals last season because there's no point of going up and down on 300K per week.
And the biggest problem, right? You see, like as an athlete, like your shortcomings will never be an issue as long as you're winning or doing your job effectively, right? It's when the team is bad, that's when people are gonna start. You know what? I'm gonna start nitpicking the things that you don't do. So back then, when he had that remember that stint when he was going scoring like every game or every 2 games.
He was playing good though.
But he wasn't playing terribly.
He wasn't playing terribly. I don't know how he was scoring. He was scoring though.
But check this out. You see how like you guys just measure like you guys just like pointed out how like he just runs to cover the space and contain the guy, but he's not really.
No, but he doesn't even contain the guy. His angles are off.
Yeah.
He's just running alongside the guy to look like he's trying.
Honestly,
he's
right now, it's guy, Rashford right now because it's been the whole first half of the season almost now. We're almost at the first half, right? And it's not like I'm judging him off one game. I give him a chance. I'm like some players, sometimes you gotta let them kind of get into it slowly. It's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
And it's also the basics. Like I don't care if Rashford doesn't score in 30 games, like as long as the team is winning, like to your point. But what I care about is that in the pursuit of these team wins, you're doing the bare minimum. And he's not even doing that. The bare minimum is effort. In every level of the game, the bare minimum is to put a shift in, earn the right to play.
Bro,
this man has refused to do it.
I'm sorry. There was one point in the game today, right? We built up the play. We passed Rashford the ball. I promise you, he kicked the ball away. There was no other explanation. Because I don't know what he was trying to do. He didn't try to beat the man. He just moved the ball a little bit and it's kind of, I don't know, passed it to them or something. I don't know how he lost the ball. He just didn't try. It's like
then his hands are like this the whole time.
Yeah, and we have to remember this. I feel like we've been so terrible the past few years. We've forgotten what Manchester United really means.
Right.
Manchester United, the standards are so low right now for us.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But it all goes back to what I was saying, leadership, right? Because even in prime Ronaldo, 07, 08, like he was the best dribbler. He was like the go-to guy and stuff. But when he was fucking up, you had Giggs stepping up to him. You had Scholes.
That's facts.
Who the hell is gonna listen to Bruno?
I mean, how can you listen to Bruno if you're earning 300K per week? You're not gonna listen to anybody. That's what I'm saying. These players are overpaid and they're put on a high echelon. They're put on a pedestal that they don't really deserve. Like Bruno, Bruno should be given we need captains like Roy Keane, right? But if Bruno comes and yells at a player, or Bruno's whining or he's moaning, I saw Bruno talk to Sancho mid-game, and Sancho was like, "Stop moaning, stop moaning."
Yeah,
we all saw that. So these players, you cannot talk to them because their egos are like out the roof. They're earning so much. I feel like, and we cannot just ignore that they're not earning money, because if you're earning more than me, who are you to tell me something? You know what I mean? It's like
Bruno was trying this game. You could see him doing other people's shifts. He was running. He was tackling.
Bro, last game, he covered McTominay's position. He yelled at McTominay like, "You should be here. Why am I here?"
Yeah.
Did you see Martial yell at Rashford as well, being like, "Come for the press, come join. What are you doing?" And Rashford's just there walking. So Martial had to abandon the press.
Bro, he lost it. Rashford one time today was walking back when they were attacking us. He literally stopped.
So let me ask you guys. Sorry. I just want to ask. But on this basis, right? We're talking about United standards. We're talking about where we used to be and all this stuff. And we're talking about a player who's consistently disrespected the club, like with his performances, like in his effort. As a fan base, should we accept this or should we just be like, listen, like if you treat this club like this, you should not even touch the grass and you should be out the club. You go score 50 goals for PSG. But if you're not going to do it for us, like, because that's unacceptable in my eyes.
Here's the thing, this is not a situation of like Kevin De Bruyne, where like Chelsea, that's how Chelsea sold Kevin De Bruyne and regretted it. I promise you, Rashford's situation is not going to be like that. No matter how Rashford will, unless he goes to Man City, maybe, I don't know, but that requires some other type of discipline because Pep Guardiola will bench you. But I don't see we shouldn't regret selling players or letting them go if they can flourish somewhere else. We should, in fact, want that for them. That should be we should want the best for a player. Maybe it's just not working out for him because his mental state is also important. If he doesn't feel like, man, I'm not in my best element in this team, the environment is not good for me, we should probably let him go or sell him.
You know the problem with Rashford is like let's say that bench, like you guys said, let's bench him, right? But even if you bench him, like who you gonna put in?
Garnacho. I'll take Garnacho and Anthony and Pellistri all day over Rashford right now. Pellistri most of them.
But that's also like another issue because when you have somebody that's like they're basically grassroots, and I'm not saying the team owe him any type of like loyal. I mean, this is sports. To be honest, it should be a game of production, and if you're producing, like you stay on the field. If you're not producing, like you can go like cool off on the bench and stuff like that. But then, like I said, like nowadays, man, like every other sport that you check, these players, they have so much power nowadays.
Because of the brand, yeah.
Their agents too. I mean, their agents are gonna be in the ears. I get your point. There's a lot of player power in United.
Low-key, Rashford is still the face.
He's the face of United.
So it's a very thin line, and this is why I feel like a lot of people don't even like Mourinho, but they respect him because a coach like that, he's at peace with whatever decision or whatever outcome that comes with the decision. He will bench you, and if he ends up costing him, he'll be at peace with that. Yeah. What you're saying about like Ten Hag, like he should just take the risk because at this point, like you're damaging your reputation as a coach and stuff like that, right? So, bro, just put your cards on the table. If you're gonna bench him and to light fire in his belly and stuff like that, do it. If it's gonna cost you your job, let it cost you your job. Maybe it's easy for me because I'm not the one being employed by Manchester United and stuff like that. But I feel like as a coach, like your beliefs and your system, right, should never be compromised by a player or a player's ego. And so no, just be cutthroat. If it happens, it happens. And then if it doesn't go your way, it doesn't go your way. But like I said, it's easy for me to say because it's not my job that's on the line. Like you know what I'm talking about. So
agree. But let me touch to your point, just one more is that I agree with you in the sense that if you drop Rashford, you're like, who'd you bring in? Like I saw we brought on Reguilon and Amrabat to save the day. Like, come on, that is the low of the low. So I understand what you're saying, and that's why I think we should keep him. So we should keep the team refreshed, like give him time and let him just revamp this whole squad.
Look, Rashford is the top of he number one, he's not a leader. Let's just put it like he's not a leader. Number two, he might need somebody to push him to that level or bring that best side of him. Manu, we don't even have a player like that. And I get it, Bruno. Like you can see he's passionate. He talks a lot, but then that's probably just him. But when you name the best 11 that you guys are saying that when he put in his best 11, honestly, and I know this guy, he's kind of a liability on defense, but I kind of like Eriksen, bro. Because honestly, creative wise,
where would you play him though?
Eriksen. Where will I play him?
Yeah, right next to.
Let's say Casemiro's fit, right? Is Casemiro's fit? I play Eriksen and Bruno in front of Casemiro and let Casemiro sit. But he's not
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Eriksen at the 10?
Huh?
I feel like Eriksen was a stopgap last season, man. Honestly, I like Eriksen and I like some of the elements he brings into the game.
Right.
But it's like with United, you cannot win. It's so terrible because one, Scott McTominay offers you random goals in times where you probably need it, but he doesn't offer you what he needs to do, like the other aspect of his game, just to be a good midfielder. Eriksen, on the other hand, is creative, But we can only, I feel like we can only find a balance in Eriksen if Bruno is disciplined to stay as a holding, as like as an 8. But Bruno is not wired like that. Bruno is wired to be a creative force. So if Bruno and Eriksen both go up, Mino is going to be
done,
isolated. Casemiro is going to be isolated. So that's why we don't have that midfield balance. So in my opinion, to be honest, by next summer, we move on from Eriksen. We probably maybe keep Casemiro. He's on a 4-year contract, so we don't have a hard choice. But we move on from Eriksen, move on from McTominay, move on from Maguire. He's in form, blah, blah, blase. But we need a fast center back. We need to be able to progress the ball forward and step up. 100%. We got to move on from all these players that are perceived to be good. You know what I mean? Like, this is perception. You know, this player is in form right now. These players are not good enough for man.
They're not good enough for United. That's the key. Like, like if we just go,
one of them, we gotta let go.
I love Martial. Don't get me wrong. I think when he's fit, I think he's one of the best strikers in the league. Like, that's just me. I mean, it's not me. It's like the evidence is there. When he's fit and he plays, and the team, like, he's unreal. But anyway, besides that,
he's been fit since like preseason.
But he's fit. But Højlund is the investment that United has made, right? Yeah. So we're gonna start him over Martial. So his future is done pretty much with us. But it's just a shame. But what I would say is that, just to your point about us not being good enough, just look at the top, like, let's say the top 2-3 teams. Let's say Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City. Which player would get into their squad from our squad?
Kobe Mino.
Probably only Bruno and Kobe.
That's it.
Wait. Repeat that question again.
Maybe Garnacho.
Who's like, if you were to like basically, if you have Odegaard, right? And you have De Bruyne, and then you have Bruno. Like, Bruno is, can compete maybe a little bit, right? Then you have Rice as a midfielder. He starts over every single one of our players if we had him on our team. Rodri starts over every single one player if we had him on our team. And you can basically go through their whole squad, and most of their squad would replace all the players in our place except maybe Bruno.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, we just don't have the quality to match.
That's fair. I feel like Luke Shaw will
Luke Shaw, my bad. Luke Shaw will start in every one of their teams.
And even Wan Bissaka, he probably not gonna give you that.
Both center back and left back.
Huh?
Both center back and left back. He started in all the teams.
Firepower, but
agreed.
Like, Wan Bissaka, before his recent injury, like he was consistent. Listen, there's 2 people, if they're fully fit, that I would never worry about, right? Luke Shaw and Wan Bissaka. Those 2 people, I would never be worried about them. We might concede a lot of goals and stuff like that, but then, like, probably somebody slack and now they pull out of position, and before they got back, or something, or a mix-up happened in the box, I'm never worried about those players.
I agree with you. Yeah,
like you're saying.
Bruno, Luke Shaw, and Wan Bissaka for a specialty right back defender. But other than that, like,
no. It's looking
not
crazy.
there.
Let me read some. Let me read some of these comments, man. We got Marv Brooks is saying our team is just not good enough, bro. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You're not winning any serious competition with players like Martial, Rashford, McTominay, Dalot, Wan Bissaka, and Lindelof. He said no coach can fix these players.
I don't get why Martial gets thrown into this thing. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, he does.
It's bad PR. Everyone's always.
Lem just saying excuses. I'm sorry. Watch Newcastle's injury list. Then Finn said Rashford worst game so far. Varane, why did Ten Hag not play him? Why?
Because Maguire is on form. I hate that question.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to make this thing like they're beefing. They're not beefing, but it happened to Maguire, the same thing last season.
Yeah.
Then Brooks said they're just average. Rashford and Martial have been first-team players for the past 8 years now. This is just who they are. A top team will replace them after 2 bad seasons. But they get countless chances.
Yeah, but with Martial, he was injury prone. That's his issue. Let's not group him as if it's like a lack of quality, because that's just not true. It's just the fact he can't stay fit. The guy's minutes per goals ratio is way better than Rashford's.
So there's one thing about Martial though that I want to bring up.
No, no, let me finish. Let me hold that thought, man. Hold that. Let me finish this comments. Yo, guys, we got 12 people watching here, man. Let's like up the video. Let's get 10 likes. Lem said United didn't cross their half and have shown no ability to their box outside of the center backs, and somehow it's Rashford's fault. He said,
a big part
just
of
deep
why
what you are.
Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. No, finish.
No, I'm saying he's a big reason as to why there was relentless pressure, because there was always an overlap on his play, so they could always play that way. So we were always on the defensive, so we couldn't get out our half. If he did his job, maybe we have a little bit of a chance.
And he wasn't keeping the ball.
And he was, yeah.
That's a fair point. Then
I was a lot.
Peter,
There was nothing that we could do today for us to play. This current Man U team right now, you put them in the championship, they're gonna struggle. I promise you.
You're right. You know what? You're actually right, because we won't put the effort in. That's the key. Yeah. We will lose every game on fight.
They're content.
I agree to that. And let me finish these comments. Lem said, just deep what you all are talking about. It all comes down to Ten Hag. And he said, Maguire is your best center back. Then he said, my guy Diaz is not fast. I guess he's talking about your comment, or Dita talking about we need fast center back. Is compare Maguire to Diaz right there.
Yeah, but that's because they have the ball.
Yeah.
You know, some of these comments, you're just like, what?
Lem's
is a troll, though. No,
Lem's a troll.
My bad.
Oh yeah, never take Lem seriously. I call him Lem's a terrorist. So yeah, I might have not warned you. Yeah, Lems is always trying to poke you. Then Niz Nectar said Bruno is overrated. And Lems also said Maguire plays all the time. And Buck said,
I think he's talking about the who starts in other teams. He's saying Maguire plays for all those teams. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Not fact. He said you're right. Then he said Buck said Juan Bissaka is a natural center back. Guy ain't no right back. Nah, I can hear those shouts, you know. But I don't know if he still has the position awareness to be center back. Yeah. So maybe. I don't know. Lem said center back in the back three. Then Beck said agreed. Then Lem also said bro is defending Martial, but not Rashford. This guy hates Rashford. Facts. All right. So Peter, I'm gonna come to you guys. So we've talked about the defense. We talked about Rashford, right? We've clearly Man United have struggled to score goals, right? So I want to look at that midfield and that strike from the midfield to the striker. What are we missing to not score goals? Because we did score how many? 3 against Everton, 2 against Copenhagen. No, 3 against Galatasaray. Mm-hmm. So there are moments where we're scoring, and with Kobe Mainoo coming in, what is Man United doing good in some games, but not really in other games where we can't really score? Like, what do y'all think?
Against Galatasaray, was Rashford playing? He was on a red card, right?
No, Rashford didn't play against Galatasaray. He was on a red card.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing right? I mean,
or doing wrong, in your opinion?
Doing wrong. This is gonna sound like an excuse, and it most likely is an excuse. We have had a lot of rotations.
Like the title said, security. We need help.
We need help. Yeah, we definitely need help. And like Peter's point, like we don't have like a dependable 11. There's always a weakness somewhere in our starting 11. For me, that's the biggest problem. Like, you know how you have a 11, you're like, this is a solid starting 11. I don't see any weaknesses. Yeah, we always do. Yeah. If it's not Onana, it's somebody else. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like that's just the biggest problem we are struggling with. It's just that confidence, like a strong 11 where we can say, hey, this team is rock solid. We can at least expect a win or a solid performance. Another thing I was going to say about the Martial comment is the fact that Martial is injury prone. Think psychologically, and we see that kind of limits him in his effort.
Don't trust him.
Yeah, that's fair.
He had a chance last season.
Right, but he doesn't get into like certain like duels because he might get hurt.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
But if the ball is flowing with Martial, he's such a player that if the ball is flowing, you know, you're moving the ball fast enough, he can create foul, he can get fouls, and he can be dangerous.
And he's clinical.
Link up play, clinical, can pass well.
There's one thing that
smart.
Some fans have been calling for, and I'm hoping we can get to at least experience what that will look like. It's a midfield of Bruno, Amrabat, and Mainoo. Let's just see how that looks like. Because I know Amrabat and Mainoo play the same position.
Yeah.
But let's just see what that looks like. Let's try Amrabat as an 8 or something like that. You know,
I was thinking a Kobe Mainoo and like a Mason Mount. Nah, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
even
weak.
that, I'll take that.
No, I wouldn't take that. I
There
wouldn't
might
take
be.
that. It's too lightweight.
You would take that?
I wouldn't take
I'm not
that.
about
I
it's
feel
more of
like
the,
because
you know, he's more of the.
McTominay is playing the way McTominay is playing is what Mason Mount can really play. Because McTominay is not really defending as much, if you notice, right? He's
I think that's the
really
problem.
there as,
He's
as
never
an
been a
attacker.
defensive
But I
guy,
think
man.
that is the problem right there. The fact that we're having too many attacking midfielders.
Yeah,
That's the problem right
Yeah,
there.
we
agreed,
definitely missing a
agreed.
Casemiro.
Yo,
Yeah,
our team
Peter.
doesn't, man. Let's just call it what it is. The team doesn't make no type of sense, man. Like
That Dalot playing on left back either doesn't make sense.
you know
Yeah,
you
nah. I would have taken Regulon.
Yeah.
and,
nah, dude, no.
I'll take
Reguilon's not good
Reguilon.
enough.
Oh no,
Huh?
trust me, regular on left back.
Reguilon's not good enough.
you spoke about scoring and creating chances. I feel like the games that we winning, we just catching other teams on their bad day, and we just
Nah, Peter, nah.
listen,
Nah, you can't say that because Bayern Munich they ate 3 goals. They outscored us. Bayern outscored us. They ate 3 goals. Galatasaray, right? We dominated them. 2
right. Okay, so like, tell me, even
if anything, we're on our bad day.
Huh?
I say, if anything, we're on our bad days. To be honest.
We always have a bad day. It just the other team is gonna have a worse day than us. That's just what it comes down to and stuff like. But there was back then where like, yeah, we was a threat in set pieces. Nowadays, like, and one other thing, like, Maguire is good in corners and winning like headers and stuff like that, right? But then it's like we don't even create enough corners or free kicks in dangerous positions to cross the ball.
That's a huge shout.
Yeah, no,
huge shout there. Yeah.
What are we gonna do, right? McTominay, yeah, and he's good with his feet sometimes and stuff like that. But he's good in the air too. Like we back then we used to have players like that. Now you know what? We put it up top and they go get it.
Go get it, yeah.
Oli utilized them a lot.
Huh?
Especially I said Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to utilize Maguire a lot in the set pieces.
But Maguire can't head the ball on target though. That's his problem.
Yeah,
he can head it, but
England.
he can't head it on target.
He only does it for England, not United.
But that's fair, right?
But now, go ahead.
He can have nine headers off target, right? I just need him to hit one on target. I'd rather take the missed headers than have no corners at all. Like you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I'd rather bank on that, right? And if we're being fair about Maguire, he plays a lot better for England because he's around other good players. So I think if you put him on a good team around a good system, I'm not saying he's gonna be a world-class player, but he'll be decent.
Yeah.
And now, bro, like,
today, I was about to say, and you could, and Luke Shaw brought that out of him. Yeah. I think when you partner him with someone else like Luke Shaw as well, you see a better team in there on the ball.
Right.
Sorry.
But Luke Shaw give away the goal, though, if you're being honest.
This is gonna be the last thing I'm doing, man. Their scouting department needs to be questioned. I don't know who the hell be scouting is, and
they didn't fire head of scout.
Well, we don't have a head of scout. He's out. Marcel Bout. No, he was fired.
He left, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. There you go.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, we don't have a scout.
I'm not surprised why.
No. I think he should have been fired.
And he came in with Van Gaal. So we've had a head of scout who's trained in the Van Gaal mode, but still was scouting players over 3 different managers, which is disjointed. But I wanted to just say one thing, Peter, to your point. Exactly. I think we need to be trying to win more fouls and all that. But also, we need Luke Shaw to be taking more deliveries than Bruno. Like, I think Bruno hogs the set piece a little bit too much. Okay. And when I saw it was like late in the game, I think there was like maybe 2 minutes left, and both Luke Shaw and Bruno were on the ball. And then Bruno said something to Luke Shaw, and then Luke Shaw started jogging away from the ball, and Bruno took it, and it was a bad delivery. I'm not saying that Luke Shaw's delivery was perfect, but I think Luke Shaw is more likely to get it right than Bruno is.
On target as well.
So I think we need to tell Bruno, chill, man. If it's a free kick, like that's a shot on goal, okay, you can take it. But when it comes to crossing, give the ball to Luke Shaw because he's gonna do it way better.
I can
agree 100%.
I can see why Bruno would tell Luke Shaw not to take it, because like if Maguire is up there trying to win a header and stuff like that, you need a couple of fast plays. And Luke Shaw like he's pretty quick on his feet. Like you know what I'm saying? I could see that, but then I also agree that probably like Luke Shaw will probably have and Bruno, like, what are you doing? Like, you have a good shot, so like why wouldn't you put yourself in a position to catch a rebound?
Because he wants the G goals and assist stats. He wants the chances created numbers to go up.
Bro, do that on open play, not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
But let's have because this the review. Newcastle beat us. Let's have the last words, man. How do y'all feel? I'm gonna come to you, because we have at the December season, there's a run-in that's happening. We got some big games. How are you feeling? What's your last words? How are you feeling about everything United, I should say?
Who are you going with?
Yeah, Mom. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't want to overreact because it was a 1-0 defeat. If it was maybe a 2-0, I'd probably be like, yeah, we're doomed. I think there's still, there's hope to save it, but we need to see changes on the starting 11. That has to happen, bro. So so I think how I feel is like, if we can make some changes, like the ruthless changes, on the starting 11, we might be able to like salvage the season. But if Ten Hag is gonna let the player power get to him, if he keeps starting the same 11, trying to be stubborn, this season is a wrap. I don't even think top 6 will be like our aim, not even top 4, to be very honest with you at this point. I mean, I was joking about the treble charge, but hey, man, we might not even win. I don't know. I don't think we'll win any trophy. Even FA Cup looks like a long shot away right now.
No, we could win the FA Cup as long as we get all home draws. Because that's what happened last time, right? We got all home draws.
Yeah, we got very lucky. Very lucky. So Peter, let me come to you. Last words.
I mean, what are the upcoming games that we have next? Like I need to know.
Chelsea, Bournemouth, and
Liverpool.
Bayern and then Liverpool. So next game is Chelsea home, Bournemouth at home, Bayern at home, and then Liverpool away.
Yeah, like I'm gonna just fall back to what I said. Tonight, he gonna have to like put his foot down. I don't care if it's a players' league or whatever it is, but like as of right now, like you better have a blueprint of because the optics is you can't be going to every press conference trying to coddle these players and stuff like that. Yeah. It's played out, and at a point, I think the fans need results. The fans deserve stuff like that. And mind you, this is us who don't pay money to go watch the game. Imagine the people who pay money to go watch the game.
We pay subscriptions, bro. That's not a cost. Peacock, Paramount.
They get more money
YouTube
from
TV.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it costs, bro. We paying money, bro. you paying money to watch the game. It costs. But nah, go ahead. I'm not really joking, but I'm being serious. Go ahead.
Like with me, like I know it's a game of results, and I could leave I don't care. I could live with a defeat. That's not a problem for me. But performance wise, I'd rather lose knowing that everybody gave their 100%. I could live.
I don't know. Sometimes them scrappy games that we just win 1-0, they feel better.
I know, right?
So Tanay, he needs to figure it out, and God forbid if it's gonna cost him his job, at least it's not gonna ruin his credibility, and it might even traject him to a better situation and stuff like that. But I feel like Man U right now, it's a black hole that if you come in there as a player or as a manager, you're kind of risking your career coming there, because one, you're gonna get exposed. Like with this current team that we have, right? You could bring Bellingham on the team right now and stuff like that, but because of the players around him, there's no passion. And I was gonna come back to this, right? I know I'm drifting off topic, but there was a time that Everett hopped on his. There was a time Everett hopped on his Instagram and was talking about the culture back then and stuff like that. It's forget the skillful players or the technical players, but it's every player was ready to bleed and die for the bag and for the coach. We don't have those players no more. I don't even think that you could pick I could only say two. Like I said, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, and that's it. But like the coach is pretty much dead. So like Ten Hag, I feel like it's up to him. Just make up your mind, and if it's gonna happen for you, I hope he still keeps the job because I want him to coach better players and stuff like that. But hey, man, time's ticking.
Yeah, nah, time is definitely ticking though. Julia, what you saying?
Just you said the overall feeling of where United is, or what's
Yeah,
the? Yeah,
and your roundup.
yeah, I echo what both the guys said, because it's, we've said a lot, but ultimately Ten Hag's the guy who picks the team. And so, like, yeah, it's do or die. I agree with Peter. It's like die on your own terms, if you're gonna die, and don't let these players throw another manager under the bus. I feel like United should stay resolute. I saw some reports that said Ancelotti is being offered a contract. I don't believe that, but the point I'm making is that will be a mistake, because it's like we're starting again, So I think we just need
nah, 100%.
to back him completely. And if this project fails, let him go after 3-4 years and, get a new person, but at least put everything behind this project. And, I just think it's a matter of us playing players who want to play for this club, who respect this club, and everyone else can honestly go kick rocks. I don't have time for people who disrespect the badge. Like you guys are saying, we pay a lot of money. We sort of wake up early hours, where we prioritize, our United, like it's basically our life. And for the players to just disrespect, their teammates, the managers, it's just so frustrating. So
all that.
Yeah, so I think we just need to we need to just continue this sort of exorcism of bad apples, and just keep rebuilding them with players that fit the mold, and hopefully we'll get back. But it's a long way to go. It's a long way to go. But yeah, just stick by the team.
Yeah, it's a long way to go, and like the title calls it, security. We need help, man. Help. We need security. One of the two.
Bro,
United 0, Newcastle 1. It's not. I don't want to overreact, but we'll see, man. I'm gonna digest it, and tomorrow when I get on the pod, I know they're gonna. I don't want to see those guys, man. I hope Chelsea lose, because I don't want to look at Lulu's face tomorrow.
What was the pod?
Huh?
What was the title?
I think security, we need help.
Bro, we need help and references, man. You know how much money I lost on my FanDuel, man?
There you go. So I appreciate everybody that's been watching, man. Let's like up the video. Let's get 10 likes. Be on the lookout. We're gonna have some more videos coming out. We will be live tomorrow as well. So I want to say shout out to Mom, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to